here we are moving out to the farm. This is the road leading up to the property. The birds are getting closer to the pasture. The typical Florida limestone road, mainly sand. But this is an example of what our property looked like before we started farming it. And here's our property up here. This is the southeast corner, and I usually take some time and look at my fence row visually. Right here, looking good. The high tensile, it's all electric. It's 7 strand, 5 of which are hot. Looking good. And we're coming up here to the main gate. Again, this is what it did look like. That's some thick Florida pine scrub there. Here's the gates. Gonna open them up, we'll go in. All right, we're through the gate, and just gonna do a quick little drive up here. It's pretty raw. Like I said, we're into our 3rd year now, working on the farm remotely. Done everything ourselves. I guess the heaviest piece of equipment we've rented in here is a stump grinder. Everything else is by hand. Much of it very much hand tools, bow saws, pruning saws. A lot of chainsaw work though, to be fair. But here we go, going up the driveway. And first stop on Must Bee Kiddin Farm is the bees. This is just one rack we've got over here on the right. That red is a queen castle, that red box there. Looks like the bees are busy, looking good. That's the first rack, and then we've got another little rack over here. We got to check. Our second rack of bees. It's not a full rack right now because these all started as nukes. The middle one there, of course, has been rehived up to a 10 frame. Everything looking good. And we'll come to the last bend in the road, switchback driveway. And here we come. Here's the goatees. This is the buck pen. Well, we're here at the farm. Sun's shining. Time to get our farm on. Looks like the chickies rode real well. Everybody's alive and well. We'll go ahead and move them over into the shade, just over there, and we'll do our farm chores, and then we'll put them out on pasture. For the first time, they'll be going to a coop. The sun's got its full blaze on, and we gotta get these chickies out the pasture. So that's it. From there to there, and then out to the range. That's what we're gonna do. Again, it's May, so we'll do this as gracefully as possible. Okay, birdies. Okay. Load it up. We're ready to go. out to the pasture. We're going to go through there. This right here is our breeding and cockerel complex. We have 3 A-frames. The birds here are being grown out. They are all cockerels, roosters, young roosters, and various breeds. So what we need to do is we're going to move the newbies over to their new A-frame pen there, and that's where they'll establish themselves for the time being. Some of them are getting ready to be culled out, and only the best be selected. Various breeds. Got some red Dorkings and Wheaten Americana, Black Americana, Blue Splash. I don't think we have any blues at the moment. And then Black Copper Morans, which we have several of those cockerels and they need to be processed, and we're only going to select out the best 3. This is the cock pen. You can see it's a 2-jewel charger, which is located right there, and it's ring fenced with electric chicken netting, and that's the pasture waterer there. And the cockerels are let out in the morning. The breeders are kept secluded, control the breeding and the mating there. And the newbies will go into here. Coop is mobile. We can move it around every couple of days. And the main goal is to augment this whole area and fertilize it and scratch it, because this is going to become part of our middle meadow pasture area, which is over here. This was all pine scrub, and we're slowly thinning it out through proper woodlot management. And we mill all the fallen timber, and that's what these coops are actually made with. All the timber we use, all the lumber we use has come from on-the-spot milling, and that's more videos to come. We gotta get these little guys into their new home. Okay, you can see the A-frame here has been prepped. We put the waterer in there, and our birds are now in position to be released. But just wanted to take a second to show the range coop design we use, which is an A-frame, and both ends fold out or open up in a triangular door. Waterer is supplied inside if they're to be cooped up. If not, range waterer, and food can be hung from the brackets up top here, or you can feed out on range. So this is the design we use. We have some extended handles out here on the top, which can easily be used for hand gripping while moving the coop. This whole design is 8 foot long by 4 foot wide, and very mobile, easy to move, very mobile, easy to move, 1 person, 2 people. A lot of times my wife and I will move these ourselves, and she's, 5'2". So design is practical, easy to build. Again, all this lumber has been milled here on site. We're going to go ahead and release these birds and let them get acclimated to their new home. So you can see they're spilling out of the carrier, and they're checking the new digs out. They've come from the garage brooder, which they were on concrete with wood chips, and now they're on soil. Of course, they did spend some time out in the side yards during brooder clean out, so they've scratched, and they've been on Suburban side lot yard, but now they'll spend the rest of their days out here on pasture. Contact with the ground, the microbes, bacteria, fungi, all that good stuff. They'll become even more robust. They're gonna taste fantastic. when processing day comes, and the hens that are selected out here are going to be resilient and hopefully will lay nice eggs, big eggs, all the way through the heat. That's one of the selection criteria we're currently evaluating. You can see they come out, they start scratching, getting used to new surroundings. Thanks for spending some time with us here on Must Bee Kiddin Farm. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe. That's right, subscribe and come back for your farming fix.